know first kind of how this fight came about. Like when was it? When was the negotiation process started? How long did you know you were going to have this fight?
So we signed for about in April 17th.
Okay.
And obviously COVID happened. All the craziness happened and that got pushed back. So I'm actually, I think I just learned in one of Martin's interviews that he wasn't allowed out of Australia for camp or the fight or anything like that. So, we had to push it back. And, I, we're happy where we're at. We came off of 3 good wins against some really tough opponents, some quick wins. So I think it made enough of a statement to where, they really couldn't deny the title shot.
So you weren't worried in that time that that something could happen, because I mean in MMA everything is crazy even before fights get made, but that whole time you were just sitting there waiting, was there ever a time that you thought like this isn't going to happen?
To be honest with you, I've been through a lot of that in my career with not getting certain calls that I expected, and ended up coming off of a loss in an important fight. So like I'm really not hung up on anything that comes my way. Like everybody talks about championship mindset and really doing this for the love of the art and the love of martial arts, and really that's why I'm here. I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid. It's a family thing with us, so whether I get this fight or no fight or 10 fights in a row that I really want, I'm gonna be doing this no matter what. Nothing's gonna change, and I'm gonna continue to be on and take the opportunities I can. And I'm just really excited that I finally get the chance to fight one of the best guys in the world.
And during quarantine, obviously everybody had different situations. Some people had a home gym, some people owned their own gyms. Kind of what was your routine during quarantine? Was there any training?
There was no change at all. I keep a tight circle anyway. I'm not part of a huge gym. The gym that I'm part of is big and has great fighters and great training, but it's not one of those, big named MMA gyms yet. But it's a bunch of really good guys that are working towards the same goal. I've got, good friends that I can fly down, good friends that I can go visit and train at their location, their gyms. And then we have our gym. I teach at my parents' taekwondo school that I've been a part of since I was a child, little itty bitty baby. And my MMA gym here in New Orleans, Louisiana is Mid-City MMA. And it's just back and forth, bringing in the guys, and really training hasn't skipped a beat at all.
That's awesome. Were you worried at all, or are you still worried at all, with COVID and people being flagged for COVID? Are you worried that could happen and the fight could get pushed back again?
Of course, that's always a concern. Am I hung up on it or am I stressing out about it? No. We've definitely got some bigger fish to fry with Martin coming up, but if that does get pushed back, that's just more time for me to get better and grow my skill set and get more comfortable. I've had the equivalent of 3-4 camps for Martin, so he's definitely going to get the best on Lee. And whatever happens. We try not to get hung up on things too much, because that can affect you here, which really, this is the most important thing to fight.
Right. And you mentioned 3 fights in a row, and I was looking at those, and they are all finishes, 2 in the first round, the third pretty much in the first round, 12 seconds in the second. So do you feel like you've had a chance to show the One Championship crowd what you're made of? You've gotten in and out so fast. Is that I mean, obviously everybody wants that crazy KO, but what's the trade-off there?
No, the answer is no. They haven't seen only the top layer of what I bring to the table as far as fights goes, and skill sets and development, reads, and all these crazy things that you hear people talk about always in fights. But opportunities have opened up early, relatively early in fights. So I've never gone to a 3-round decision, and honestly, I'm playing this fight out like it's going to go 5 full rounds and we're going to win by decision. But obviously, I'm going in there, and if the opportunity opens up, I'm going to knock him out. And he's going to be doing the same thing. So,
right, and you see viral videos of KOs, but then you also hear people talking about those fight of the night where you just are fighting the whole way through. Which do you feel like weighs better on a record? Which one are you more excited to have? I know you said you haven't done 3 rounds, so.
Right. To be honest with you, I've won fight in the night once as an amateur, and I didn't like it. That means fight in the night means I did not walk in the ring and assassinate this man. Fight in the night means we went back and forth. We traded shots. He was up, I was up, and somebody came out on top, and it was a very back and forth, exciting fight. That's what comes to mind when I think of fight of the night. Um, if I get to pick, I don't want any of my fights to lay out like that. I want my fights to be precise, safe, hit, don't get hit, and then finish the fight whenever the opportunity pops up, you know.
How do you feel you stack up against your opponent?
Martin's a hell of a fighter, great champion. He's very skilled, and he's really good at what he does. He has a certain game that he does that he draws you into his big right hand, and his distractions and everything really all lead to his power in his hands, and that's what he ends a lot of fights with. You know, I do something similar. I just think I do it a little bit better than he does. And what we're aiming for is to perform that way better than he does that night. Like I said, all the respect to Martin, he's a great champion. He's done awesome things in the sport, awesome things for one. But I think I match up really well against him as far as my movement goes, as far as my fight IQ goes, and as far as you know, my round to round, interaction to interaction adjustments.
Are you worried at all about there not being fans? I'm assuming there aren't fans.
Yeah, it's going to be crowdless. That is obviously different. But with my stint on The Ultimate Fighter, you know, fighting on the Contender Series, like things like that weren't full crowds. Obviously, The Ultimate Fighter was no crowd at all. It was just, you know, fighting in front of the teams and coaches and things like that. But really, it doesn't make a difference to me whether we fight in the bathroom or we fight in a soccer field or we fight in an arena full of people. I'd much rather have people there so I can, you know, entertain the crowd and feel their energy. That's always an awesome and cool thing, traveling to these unique places and experiencing their fans and the energy they bring. But, you know, I always keep my family close, and I always keep my family's energy close. So, you know, I'll have that behind me no matter what.
And speaking of traveling to Asia, what does that mean to you to be able to go and perform there where all of this kind of started? And, you know, they're a country and they're a nation of people that really have been hurt a lot with everything that's going on. We're just kind of getting through it now, but they've really had their turn. How does that feel to be able to go back there and give them something good to feel, you know, something good to watch?
That's the thing, is if I can even contribute to a little bit of uplift morally, you know, emotionally, just to entertain them a little bit, that's always great. You know, obviously I'm doing this for me, for my family. I'm trying to be the best fighter possible, the best fighter in the world. But doing things like that and being able to provide just a little bit of entertainment, you know, we're nothing. We're not a sport without the fans. So we've got to make sure that we're providing those guys with what they want, a lot of action and some really good quality fights. And I think Juan has done a phenomenal job with that over the years, and especially in the recent situation.
Right. And my last question for you, I hope it's a fun one. Your fight is right before Halloween. Do you have a Halloween costume that you're going to be going as?
I don't. Hopefully champion. I can leave there as that'll be my Halloween costume. Dude with a gold belt.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.